Ba, 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 ba. That's weird. There we go. That's better. Let's see. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. I understand Dino Class is looking a little different today. I will explain that if you were not in the Discord server already. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Give me 1 second. Streaming. There we go. Go ahead and throw that in the Discord. All right. What's up, Disabled Ginger? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome in. Okay, so today, welcome in. This is technically Dinosaur Class, so you are free to ask me stuff, if you wish. But it is so hot and so humid in where I live right now. There is a layer of moisture on every surface of this room, and that is going to be awful if I'm going to be in a VR headset. So not a great time. So that is why we are on Prehistoric Kingdom today, instead of the usual. I'm also just going to throw out some random dinosaurs while we're here. Hello, 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 Glover. Hello, Cameron. Hello. How we doing? I also, like, did y'all hear that, they're adding the ability to customize the color pattern on some of the dinosaurs in this game, and I think that's awesome. Favorite dinosaur discovered in Canada? There's a lot of great choices for that. I don't know if it was originally discovered in Canada, but I think Pachyrhinosaurus is super cool. Pachyrhinosaurus is such a neat and unique ceratopsian. But yeah, Albertosaurus and Albertoceratops, to be fair, are also really cool. I know technically you can find, there are T-Rex remains in Canada too. But yeah. This is your question on YouTube, I appreciate it. Yeah, no problem. Just got back from a trip to Spain. Awesome. That's awesome. That's super cool. Hey, correct. Is that JWE3? I'm assuming you mean. No, this is Prehistoric Kingdom. Really cool game. You'll recognize a lot of the models in Prehistoric Kingdom are the ones that I use in VR chat. So you'll recognize the Tyrannosaur avatar. And then we got the Tarbo as well. My favorite theropod? My favorite theropod is Nanoxaurus hoglundi. It's my favorite dinosaur in general. I just love theropods. They're so cool. It's game worth it. I played JW 1 and 2, but is it similar? It's a lot more similar to Zoo Tycoon than it is to, or Planet Zoo, than it is to, hello Mace, how you doing? Than it is to Jurassic World Evolution 2. Cause I just kinda he's just kinda out here, you know? Yeah. New Ark map dropped last night. I saw when I woke up today. That's pretty neat. I have a lot of fond memories with Ragnarok. So here's hoping that they that it looks good. I have not had the chance to look into it a little bit. More gaming content? Yes. Yes, it's just hot and miserable outside, so but yeah. So it is not a great time to be putting on a VR chat headset, I can tell you that now. By the way, so fun fact, did you know there probably wasn't grass in the Jurassic? Things like sauropods, like this guy, might not have seen grass, or they possibly could have. There was a sauropod found recently that had, is this Evolution 3? No, I hope Evolution 3 looks like this. But there was a sauropod that was found with grass in its coprolite. Coprolite is fossilized dung, for those that don't know. but mostly desert. No, you're thinking of the Triassic. The Triassic was mostly desert. It's the Jurassic, which is, funnily enough, I found out last night that is the shortest time period. I had always gone under the assumption that the Cretaceous was the shortest. What's up, Jose? How you doing? But during the Jurassic, you have this warm, humid environment, and then, you know, once you get to the Cretaceous, it gets a little cooler, a little drier. You finally get some nice icy poles on the, you know, the polar caps and stuff like that. Also, hold on, where's my... What's the biggest Kamara? I think this is the biggest Kamara. I'm throwing a Kamara out here, because Kamaras are cool. But yeah. You make a Clone Wars scene? I don't know. Was there a scene in a Clone Wars, with dinosaurs? Yap about Suchomimus. Suchomimus is cool. A lot of what I have a friend, Doc J, who loves Suchomimus, and admittedly, it's really cool. It is a lot taller than I think a lot of people give it credit for. It's about as tall as T-Rex, as like a Spinosaurid, and I think that's really neat. But yeah, really big too. Just shockingly big Spinosaurid, especially since I do believe Suchomimus is taller than the Neotype specimen for Spinosaurus. I think that's really cool. Yeah, I know Plesiosaurus is a marine reptile, but they have her in this game. Unfortunately not. Marine reptiles and avian reptiles, such as pterosaurs, have not been added to the game. Give Buddy a partner. Sure. Dinosuchus. I'm assuming that's what you meant by saying Dinosuchus, but Dinosuchus is not in the game either, unfortunately. That'd be cool though. There we go. He can have a mate. And then, here, hold on. Let's go give our Apatosaurus over there a friend too. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Let's whoop, there you go. Awesome. Talk a little bit about Metriacanthosaurus. Metriacanthosaurus is strange, from what I hear. It is, yeah, okay, so the family that Metri is a part of has kind of always been pretty confusing in terms of like where they fit in. Cause they might be allosaur. I think like the common consensus is that they are allosaurids of some variety, or they derive from allosaurids in kind of a similar way as to how Carcharodontosaurus derives from all that stuff. But other than that, they're very strange. They were a lot more common, it seems, in like, okay, hold on. Let me double check this. Because I do believe, I want to say that they are Middle Jurassic, Early Cretaceous, split into two subgroups. The group is Yangchuanosaurus and Metriacanthosaurus, belong to the Allosaurus superfamily. Records of the group are confined to Asia. Yeah, okay, that's what I assumed, yeah. Stego in the game? I wish. But yeah. But yeah. You know nothing about Suchomimus? I mean, well, it's one of the largest baryonychine spinosaurids. It's pescivorous, meaning it mostly ate fish. Though we do have evidence of baryonyx, a close cousin to Suchomimus, also preying upon land animals, suggesting a opportunistic feeding style. So yeah, we're gonna play this. It's on Steam. It's Prehistoric Kingdom. Let's throw down some brontosaurs. Bronto. Whoop. I'm gonna follow these guys around for a little bit. What carnivores are in the game? We got all of these guys, minus him. These guys. All of them. That's about it. We see the T-Rex in a little bit. I kind of wanted to follow the brontosaurs around a little. Here we go. But yeah. Favorite Pokemon dinosaur? Does Tyrantrum count? I'm pretty sure that, yeah. Alt F4 gives tips. You're gonna have to try a little harder than that. I've been on the internet long enough. But yeah. For how long could dinosaurs live without eating? It depends on the dinosaur. There are some birds alive today that can go a few weeks to maybe a month. Making a Pokemon game with heavily dino Pokemon. Nice, that's cool. It sounds awesome, man. But it really depends on the dinosaur itself. I'm sure large sauropods like these guys, I just wish it would get us out of the grass, please. Get us out of the grass. Thank you. But yeah, I'm sure these guys like these large You have melanism? Okay, I thought she had melanism for a second. That would have been cool. But yeah. Is that my King Acrocanthosaurus? Yes, it was. We do have Acro out here. We've kind of just been placing down random dinosaurs just to look at them. Hello, Team Skull Grunt. How you doing? Where's Acro? Here's Acro. This is probably my favorite skin for Acro, next to this one. I like these two a lot. Now, Acros, like, don't like each other at all. So yeah. Know anything about Scabobona? This is hard to type the name. Yeah, I'll say. God, hold on. How do you... It's a Scabobombasis? Oh, this guy! Yeah, like the jawless fish. Yeah, no, he's weird. Is there Carcharodontosaurus? Yes, there is. There is. But yeah. Yeah, it's the jawed fish that like hangs his mouth open. Yeah, that dude's weird. They got this constant expression of like surprise. It's really funny. Yeah. I'm good, Grunt. Glad to hear you're doing good too. Hoping they drop Lystro for Jurassic World Evolution 3. Hey, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But yeah. What are you doing today? Today is Dino Class. Or it is supposed to be Dinosaur Class. But it is stupid hot and stupid humid in my room right now. There is a layer of moisture all across the room. So it is just miserable. Do you like Nanotyrannosaurus and the European Utah Raptor? Someone's been watching my podcast and it really shows, but no, I don't. How can you tell from a T-Rex and a Giganotosaurus? Okay, so this is actually a great question. I know to like people who are familiar with dinosaurs, this might sound ridiculous, but we are gonna take a very good look at the two real quickly. Okay, so this is T-Rex. This is not Giganotosaurus. This is Carcharodontosaurus. Carcharodontosaurus is a this is a very small Carcharodontosaurus actually. Either that or we have an anomalously big Hold on. Is this just a small Carcharodontosaurus or is this their actual size difference? Hold on. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Maybe this is just an absurdly large T-Rex. Okay, anyway. So, off bat, I actually have a whole video talking about how you can tell these two groups of dinosaurs apart. Carcharodontosaurs, like Carcharodontosaurus here, are flat. They're very, very skinny looking from their front profile. Also, thank you, Dinosaur Hottie, for subscribing. I appreciate it. But even when we go over to look at Acrocanthosaurus here, you'll notice that they are very slim. We come back over to the T-Rex, however, they are very wide. The backs of their skull are a lot wider. Their bodies themselves are a lot more broad, and we take a look from, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna get rid of you. And we just look from the top, you can also see that as well. Big, chunky, skinny, and lean. These guys have two different hunting styles. You can't see it now, but when they open their mouth, actually here, hold on. We're going inside the mouth of a T-Rex. Okay, cool. See these teeth? Notice how rounded they are. They are rounded, recurved, and serrated. But if we go into the mouth of Karka here, these teeth are a lot more flat. So these guys are built for cutting. These guys are built for crushing. So Spinosaurus cannot take on a T-Rex? Probably not. I wouldn't recommend that it tries. My brother is wondering if you believe in the Loch Ness Monster. I like cryptids. I do. I highly doubt the Loch Ness Monster is possibly alive. Like, if it's a plesiosaur of some kind, I doubt it. Because what do you mean a plesiosaur? An entire population of plesiosaurs have existed in Lake Loch Ness since the end of the Mesozoic. That doesn't really track. There have been a lot of different interpretations. There was one interpretation that I really liked that interpreted Loch Ness as a sea serpent instead. He has the strongest bite force in history, bro, run. Hello, Goku. He has the strongest bite force of any terrestrial animal in history. How can you tell a dinosaur's age? You can actually tell a dinosaur's age by its fossils, because you can see their growth rings. Saw dinosaur skeletons today. Hey, nice. But yeah. Acro thinner than Spino. Oh yeah, a little bit. Here, hold on. Let's go take a look at. All right. Well, prehistoric kingdom crashed. So that's interesting. But yeah. Great. Oh. Yep, it crashed. Great. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Well, give me 1 second. Talk about mite macrothorax. I feel like I've talked about that one quite a lot, and it's not today. I mean, in general, people have really latched on to the whole thing with Mipe's names, just, oh, the shadow of death. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a horrifying animal from the perspective of a human. It is just absolutely scary. I even have a video planned for okay, Prehistoric Kingdom is not hold on. It's not wanting to actually work. Please work. There we go. Hold on. Whoa. Okay, there we go. All right, cool. But yeah, Mipe is really cool. It is this elephant-sized mega raptor, and I think that is just rad. But yeah, crazy creepy animal, man, with those meat hook claws, the arrow-shaped heads, very creepy. Window key L, and you get a dino information about. Oh no, I already know that. That opens the Paleopedia. I'm pretty sure. So I've already seen that. Who would win, Shant or Rex? Rex was already struggling to take down Edmontosaurus. I highly doubt it would have trouble taking down I highly doubt it would be very successful taking down a Shant. Hadrosaurs are just creepy, man. Or not creepy. They're scary. I mean, I guess they're also creepy in some aspects. But they are a lot more powerful than I think people give them credit for. Also, so here's my favorite thing in the world to do in this game, by the way. So here, let me I'm gonna go to my T-Rex and then watch this. T-Rex, baby animation, fully grown. Oh man, it's so cool. It's really funny. But yeah, so this is Prehistoric Kingdom. But yeah. With the long arms is scary, I agree with you. Yeah, I've got a video coming out in the near future, all about Mega Raptors and why I think they're scary. But yeah, is it only on PC? Unfortunately, yes. They should add a Neuronathus. I agree. They should add more. They should add more. Or they should add pterosaurs and marine reptiles in general. But yeah. I don't know if you can gift subs on here, Dino, unfortunately. I don't think that's a thing. Do you doubt the idea of scientists bringing back a dinosaur via fossilized embryo? Fossilized embryos don't have DNA. That's a rock. You're just as likely to, you can gift subs on TikTok. I didn't know you could gift subs on TikTok. That's interesting. You're just as likely to be able to resurrect a dinosaur from things like a fossilized femur than you are to a fossilized embryo, because the tail dragging animation is so satisfying. I know, but it's also not scientifically plausible. They probably did not drag their tails like that. There's facts about Cryolophosaurus. Cryolophosaurus is a pretty interesting theropod. It is the largest theropod from Antarctica. It is, I want to say, early Jurassic. But yeah. Does that spider have a head frill or crest? It is believed they did, yes. But yeah, Cryolophosaurus. I forget exactly. When was Cryo found? Also, what is Cryo Neotheropoda? I forget if it is or not. How long does it take bones to turn into fossils? That process can take hundreds to thousands of years, sometimes millions. What is, what? Did it, wait, what? Did anyone else see that animation? And whoa! Thank you, Dinosaur Hottie, for the 50 tiny dinies. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. But yeah. Does Walking with Dinosaurs one have a crest? I think it should. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to remember if Cryolophosaurus is Neotheropoda. It is Neotheropoda. I was right. Here, hold on. Walking with Dinosaurs, Spinosaurus. Yes, the Walking with Dinosaurs Spinosaurus has a crest. But yeah. What is science? Scientists keep nerfing Spino's design? They don't. It's an animal. It doesn't, you can't nerf an animal. It's like getting upset that a bear looks like a bear. We would Spinos drag its tail or carry it around. They would carry it. They would lift it off the ground. But yeah. Yeah. Field trip, I forgot my form. Don't worry, it's fine. It's fine. Imagine, like genuinely imagine if your school got the chance to like go to like a dinosaur zoo. You imagine the waivers that you would have to sign. Keep seeing multiple versions of Spinosaurus. Well, this one right here, minus the tail dragging and absence of lips, is possibly the most accurate depiction of Spinosaurus you're going to see in a while. In fact, I would say that based off of purely the design, the Walking with Dinosaurs Spinosaurus is really good. You in the field of work with dinosaurs or just a special interest? A little bit of both. So I do work in this field, as I have done volunteer work in museums. I've gone to schools and I teach about geological history, evolution, mass extinction events and stuff like that. Like the stuff that I do here on TikTok, I also go and do at schools. Now, I do not have a degree in paleontology, not yet at least. I was getting ready to get that, but I had to leave college for some personal reasons. But yeah. And thank you again, Dinosaur Hottie, for the 48 tiny dinies. I appreciate it. How accurate is the Jurassic World dinosaurs, Carnotaurus or Baryonyx? Baryonyx, not a lot. I'd argue that the Jurassic World Carnotaurus is probably the closest to accurate that you're gonna get in the Jurassic Park franchise. Would Spino drag its tail or carry it around? I think Spino would carry its tail up off the ground. Yes, it would be heavy, but the thing is that you have to remember this tail is all muscle. That is all muscle. And okay, so we're gonna also do this. Okay, so we're gonna learn a little bit about dinosaur musculature. Okay, you ready? What was that? I heard something in my room fall. Okay, so we're gonna learn about dinosaur musculature here. Okay, so we're gonna grab a T-Rex as well because I want to show you this. Okay, so let's put a T-Rex right here. Let's take a look at these guys and okay, cool. All right, so let's take a look at T-Rex first real quick. Okay, so there is a muscle group that is connected to the thigh and the tail. This muscle group makes a upside down L shape from right here to here. You can hit L or activate it. I'm so glad you told me that. Thank you so much. Anyway, so there is a muscle group right here. So it makes an upside down L. It connects the thigh right here to this right here. This is the comma femoralis, aka the CFM. The comma femoralis is the equivalent of the gluteus maximus. And what I mean by that is that they serve the same purpose. It connects the legs to your hip. So it allows for movement. It allows the leg to move. So if this leg is moving forward, this muscle group here is going to be pulled that way, and you'll see the tail swing this way. Now, if you come over here to Spinosaurus, this is going to be a lot larger of a muscle group. Whereas on T-Rex, it would extend from about here all the way to here. You see this all the way from here all the way down to about here, more than likely. So all of that is what allows Spinosaurus to lift its tail most of the time off of the ground. Now, could it have put its tail on the ground? Yes, it very much could have. It could possibly, if it wanted to, put its tail down like that and stood up better. Right? It could have stood up taller because it could use its tail in the same way that kangaroos do, and they kind of just use it as a third leg to make themselves look bigger in some cases. Now, obviously, they're not going to be walking around like that all the time. So, yeah. If you had to go back in time to get 5 dinosaurs' DNA to make a dinosaur park, which ones are you taking? I guess if we're not counting birds, then, well, you gotta get T-Rex. Gotta get Brachiosaurus. Parasaurolophus is a must. Stegosaurus and Triceratops, definitely. How accurate is the Isles Rex? I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember it being pretty bumpy. You know, not as up to date. But either way, still really cool. Could Spider run? Kinda. Probably not very effectively, but yeah. But I get, well, no, I don't think they could have run when they got to adulthood because of something called like a sprinting gait or a walking gait. But yeah. I don't know about the patterns on dinosaur's body. A lot of it's speculation. Thank you, AJ, for the 10 roses. I appreciate it. A lot of it's speculation. A lot of people will, like, depict dinosaurs with patterns based on modern birds. But there are some very rare cases where we do actually know the color of some dinosaurs. But yeah, those are very rare. There's like Boreapelta, which is like a rusted red color, which is pretty nice. Spino have a stronger swing of their tail than T-Rex. If their tail is as muscular as I think it is, then yeah, probably. I don't know if it'd be very fast. Toro Venator had extremely small horns behind its brows. Is there a reason for that? Or, I would assume it's the same reason a lot of other dinosaurs have, like, crests and horns, mainly for show. Maybe that was something they'd show off to mates. Maybe it was individual identification, stuff like that. But yeah. How fast could larger dinosaurs like sauropods walk if they really had to escape something? I don't know. Might be discontinued, school started. That's okay, Paleo Kelly. Don't worry about it. I want to say sauropods, like, here, because, like, over here we have, where's our Apatosaurus? Here's our Apatosaurus. Sauropods like him, maybe 20 miles tops, you know? Pretty slow, but, like, their strides are pretty long, so it kind of makes up for it. So maybe 20 above there. Between Ankylosaurus, Stegosaurus, and Triceratops, which had the best overall defense? Probably Ankylosaurus. They literally had armor made of bone. What was the smartest dinosaur to ever exist? Now, the smartest dinosaur alive today is like crows and ravens. Those guys are smart. They're smart enough to understand what is called water displacement, which is like the whole thing of, like, if you drop like a rock into the water, it is going to displace that amount of water equal to that rock's mass. And they can understand that, and that's really cool. But speculating on what was the like the smartest overall, maybe some type of troodontid. Troodontids are known to have very large brain to body ratios and stuff like that. Yeah, I love that your answers. Well, yeah, birds are the modern day dinosaurs, and like, okay, so like it comes down to several things, right? Because like when you're asking about like the most intelligent, it's very important to mention birds because we can test their intelligence and we can prove that. With the prehistoric non-avians, it's very speculative. Because brain to body ratio is not always this like 100% like that is how it is kind of thing, you know? But, you know. Could bioluminescence on the Parasaurus Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous be real? I doubt it. I doubt it. Shubostorks are literally dinosaurs. Look at one and tell me I'm wrong. Oh no, they are. Absolutely. Yeah. Which had the smallest brain to body ratio? I think it's Stegosaurus with a brain the size of 2 walnuts. Smartest Tyrannosaurid that isn't T-Rex? I don't know. I don't know what the runner-up is. The runner-up would probably be... Simply because I don't know if this has been researched. I want to say probably Tyrannosaurus macraensis. Because it's the closest thing to it. Try to make it out of school break. Hey, don't even sweat it, man. I appreciate it either way. Derek said awesome eyesight. Oh yeah, absolutely. It had some crazy eyesight. But yeah. I know you said you're scared of Megaraptors, but what's the scariest in the Jurassic series to me? How do we find out Megaraptor was iridescent? Fossils. You can see it on the fossil specimens of their feathers and stuff like that. The scariest dinosaur in the Jurassic franchise, like, okay, so here's my logic, right? When it comes to scary, I've heard that Altospinax and Becchelspinax are the same. Is it? Yes, they are synonymous. The name as of right now is Altospinax. The thing about scary dinosaurs to me is that it's not the big ones that I am afraid of. It is the smaller ones. It's the one. Do you remember the line in the first Jurassic Park when Alan Grant says, "The point is, you are alive when they start to eat you"? That is the most horrifying thing ever. So the larger ones, like, they will end you fast. Now, relatively fast, just not, probably not as fast as you want it to be, but yeah. Dasp or Aloe, who would win a battle to the death? I'm gonna say Dasp because it's heavier. How old did sauropods like Diplodocus live? Could their muscles support their size? How long could their muscles support their size? I think speculation on some sauropods put their age at a maximum of around 40, which is, yeah. But yeah, the scariest Jurassic Park dinosaurs to me are like the raptors, the troodons, Dilophosaurus, specifically. Well, the real life Dilophosaurus would also be horrifying. Anything that wouldn't be able to get you in one go. Time for me to go. It's 4:30. I've stayed up as usual. Have a good one. Thank you for stopping by, Paleo Kelly. I appreciate it. Most underrated dinosaur in your opinion? You ever heard of Jackapil? I think Jackapil needs more attention. I think those guys are pretty cool. Would Alan Grant's speech to the one kid in Jurassic Park still hold up with accurate versions? If we're talking about Utah Raptor or Deinonychus in place of Velociraptor, then maybe, yeah. I would say it's a maybe. I'm gonna grab a Dilophosaurus because these guys are very pretty. You guys ever seen the Dilophosaurus in Prehistoric Kingdom? Oh my goodness, are they pretty. Look at him! Oh, and there he goes. Whoa! Most aggressive dinosaur? I'd definitely say any of the herbivores. They are, oh my god. He's moving so fast, the camera's having trouble keeping up with him. Oh my god. What do you think about that weird creature in the newest Jurassic World movie trailer? Oh, D-Rex? I think it's cool. I hope they handle it better. Gee, he's so fast. Look at it. Oh my god. He's so fast. It has fists. It's not even a dinosaur. It's not supposed to be a dinosaur. It's supposed to be a mutant. Hello, Concavinator. It's not supposed to be a dinosaur. So, most underrated Godzilla kaiju in your opinion? I don't know if it's underrated. But my favorite kaiju in the Godzilla universe is Rodan. So, I don't know. I'd say Rodan. It's the fastest land dinosaur. The fastest that we can prove is the ostrich. The fastest ever on land is probably Struthiomimus. And the fastest ever, as in like getting from point A to point B, is the Peregrine Falcon. That thing is crazy. Now he's calm. Yeah, he is. Have you calmed down, Mr. Dilo? But yeah. Me personally, it's the non-canon Troodons from Jurassic World the game because the way they hatch their eggs. Those things are creepy in general. I'm just saying. And the Falcon should count because it just... I don't think the Falcon should count because it just dives. It doesn't just dive. I've seen that... thank you, Concavinator, for the rose. I appreciate it. I've seen people voice that opinion before, but in defense of the Peregrine Falcon, it doesn't just dive. It's the fact that it can maintain that speed due to its specific adaptations for speed. Its body is specifically built for that. And in fact, if you compare the Peregrine Falcon in terms of its side profile and shape, it's very similar to a lot of modern military equipment. And not only can it get to that speed and hold that speed for a lot longer than people are expecting it to, it can also hit the ground and its target while going that speed. So, but yeah. D-Rex lives movie cliffhanger JP3 Spino inspired design for one of the Spinos. Yeah. Since it's technically a dinosaur, can we talk about cassowaries? Oh yeah, dude, I saw a news article the other day talking about how there's like a family of cassowaries in this neighborhood who have begun associating people with food, and they get really aggressive when people don't feed them. And it's kind of scary because they're intimidating, man. Ever seen the video where the duck gets its head ripped clean off by the pregnant? Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, that's, I've seen that, yeah. More zoomies, yep. Favorite, Proceratosaurid, mine's, Calicus. I've always been partial to Eutyrannus. I know that Eutyrannus is the most popular Proceratosaurid, but Eutyrannus has always been my favorite ever since, they came out for Ark. So I think Sinotyrannus is also really cool. Yeah. That is, besides the crest, it reminds me of favorite horse colors. Oh yeah. Yeah, Dilo is gorgeous. Here, hold on. Can I get out of the grass, please? Okay, well this isn't much better, but you know. Do you think dinosaurs could have had zoomies? There are a lot of animals alive today that you would not expect to have zoomies that do have zoomies. Because zoomies is just an animal trying to burn off energy that it hasn't burned off yet. But yeah. So I think, yeah, dinosaurs could have had. What are your thoughts on the shoebill? I think shoebills are crazy. They're creepy. There's this one video that this guy took of a shoebill where it just picks up this giant snake and it swallows it. What? And there he goes. Yep. What's up, Rob Zombie? How you doing? Opinions on Jurassic World Evolution 3. I think it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a great game. I'm gonna be. What's up, Lambeosaurus Enjoyer? Yeah, no, it's just a shoebill just ate the whole snake. It just swallowed it. And yeah, but I'm excited for Jurassic World Evolution 3. There are a few things I'm worried about. I really want my favorite dinosaurs to be in the game. Hello, Abysmal. How you doing? But yeah. There he goes again. Storks are the modern as Darkids. A little bit, yeah. How big was the snake? The snake was about like it was not a small snake. I think it would have been like around, I want to say like 10, 12 inches in diameter. But yeah. How you doing? Hello, Logan. How are you doing? I'm doing good. Yeah, 50 baby trikes versus a Spino. Yeah. Oh, man. What's the difference between T-Rex and the Tyrannosaurus? They're the same thing. T-Rex is specifically the genus and species. So that is Tyrannosaurus, genus, Rex, species. Tyrannosaurus is just the genus. Yeah. Shoebill related to terrorbirds? No, but the terrorbirds do have a modern relative, that being the Sonaria? Sonoria? I forget how to pronounce it. I'm also gonna grab this guy, because I think he's just a little goober, and I love him. Here's this little goober. Sultana Venator, or Saltrio Venator. Hold on, give me 1 second. Saltrio Venator. Oh, it's a ceratosaur. That's interesting. I didn't know too much about this guy. It is a ceratosaurian Sultana Venator. Oh, lived in the around the early Jurassic, or the middle Jurassic. That's really cool. This guy's pretty neat. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, lived 199 to 197 million years ago. And where was this guy? Or early Jurassic. Oh, Italy. Wow, that's really cool. Lived in Italy. That's really neat. I love learning about new dinosaurs like that. It's really neat. Thank you, Jurassic I'm gonna call you Jurassic because I fear that I would mispronounce that last name. But yeah. When dinosaurs bad parents, or depends on the species? We have evidence that a lot of dinosaurs were really good parents. Hadrosaurs were good parents. Oviraptorids were good parents. It seems that tyrannosaurs and other large theropods were also decent parents as well. The only dinosaurs that I would say were bad parents would be the sauropods. Sauropods had the turtle mentality. They would lay their eggs and they would ditch them. And yeah, so, so those are the only ones I could define as bad parents. I know that some dinosaurs were aquatic. So there's a pretty unique, adaptation. Cuckoos are horrible parents too? Yes, they are. Where is the pine cone jogging to? I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I have played Dino Crisis. Yeah, so anyway, so when it comes to aquatic dinosaurs, there's none that I would say they're fully aquatic. The closest we've ever gotten to fully aquatic dinosaurs were the Spinosaurids, which weren't that aquatic at all, and penguins. As, yes, penguins are dinosaurs as they are birds. But there's a pretty interesting adaptation when it comes to living in water, and that is the adaptation of dense bones. Ducks are also a great example as well. Isn't there an ankylosaur that's semi-aquatic? Yes, yes. I forget how to pronounce its name. It's like Lawingosaurus or something like that. But dense bones seem to be an indicator of at least a semi-aquatic lifestyle. How different is the game for Jurassic World Evolution 2? Or just Jurassic World Evolution? Mostly just, you know, the dinosaurs don't eat people and stuff like that. But it's more like Planet Zoo and stuff like that. Favorite ceratopsian? Triceratops prorsus, because it was the first dinosaur that I got to help with the excavation of. How do you feel about Lurtosaurus being semi-aquatic? I think it's awesome. I remember when the Primordial Tyrants Lurtosaurus mod was coming out, I jumped at the opportunity to make a video on it because I think Lurtosaurus is just an otherworldly look into the strange behaviors of other dinosaurs we don't usually think about. Favorite dinosaurs? Nanoxaurus hoglundi, Eutyrannus holly, Triceratops prorsus, and anything after that changes around quite a lot. Lawingosaurus? I think that's the one. I think that's the semi-aquatic ankylosaur. You pick a bird to awaken / add more non-avian theropod traits to, which bird would you be? Probably cassowaries, because they've already got the whole look down. This game have your favorite dinosaur? No, but what's great about this game is that it does allow me the opportunity to be delusional and say, yes, my favorite dinosaur's in this game. I just have to downsize my T-Rex. Look, guys, it's Nanoxaurus. It's totally Nanoxaurus. But yeah, yeah. I find it funny how they use the small estimate for PT Lurd, and like a week later at IRL its size got to. That actually happened a lot. That happens a lot with paleo, because like, okay, you have to think about it. Is Leanosaur? Yeah, it is in this game. I'll pull that out next. I don't know. I would argue that paleontology and astronomy are the two most rapidly changing sciences in the world. So when you are making a game like this, or Prehistoric Kingdom, Path of Titans, or The Isle, and you want to keep it as accurate as possible, you're gonna have a very hard time doing that, because you're going to continuously be getting more and more updated stuff. For example, here, hold on, I'm gonna wait for him to open his mouth again, because I want to show you something. But yeah. Why was T-Rex king of the jungle if Spinosaurus were definitely more dangerous? I don't think Spinosaurus was more dangerous. I think they were both equally kind of dangerous and terrifying to run into. Also, I've never heard someone calling T-Rex King of the Jungle. Okay. For example, you see this right here? You see this gap? This doesn't... A study came out a few weeks ago talking about this muscle group right here. This is called the exoparietal. The exoparietal is what latches the upper and lower mandibles together, okay? So it's this group of muscles right here. Now, a new study came out saying that all of this, and all of this back here would have been completely covered by skin. So you'd see the normal skin texture right here. You'd maybe see this flap right there. This really small edge right here. Rest of it would have been covered in skin. So, sorry, but I have to unfollow it. Why the LGBT? Oh, you have an awful name. You're getting blocked. You can leave. Ew. Anyway, but yeah. So a T-Rex would have jowls like a bulldog or pug. Kind of. I mean, not in like the same developed kind of way, but it is similar. The study of the exoparials is actually really fascinating. The whole idea. Shame to the name Jack. I knew a friend in high school named Jack. He was chill. I think he moved up north. The feathers look really similar to fur. That is a great observation. That is a really great observation because if you look here, they are kind of designed that way. So the kind of things that you would find on T-Rex, these proto-feather-esque attributes, would be a lot similar in shape to hair, as they were not as like developed as modern feathers. So like, for example, also, I'm gonna go ahead and grab Lianosaura. Yeah, hello, little dude. Grab you. So if we take a look at Velociraptor, so like, let's throw down a Velociraptor right here. So there is some very clear differences in their featheration. So you see here, these are the more derived, like normal bird-like feathers, whereas here on T-Rex, on this specific skin that allows it to have full feather coverage, they probably would not have this many feathers once they reach this stage in their life. But yeah, it's like, yeah, like elephant ears. For example, like when people ask me, hey, are dinosaurs feathered, or like is T-Rex feathered, I always say T-Rex is about as feathered as an elephant is hairy. Elephants have hair, and they are in fact hairy, but yeah. Will the dinosaurs fight each other in this game? No, not yet. That's something coming in the future. Shintungosaurus? I wish Shintungosaurus is in this game. I wish. Same with Allosaurus. It's grooming itself. Yeah, they would also likely preen each other as well. You know Carnivore's Dinosaur Hunter? Yeah, I grew up on that game. It was awesome. Why do juvenile Rexes have feathers only to lose them once they reach adulthood? Okay, so this is actually a really interesting question, and I've been asked it a lot of times. I've answered it a good many times as well. So I've kind of gotten down how to explain this in a way people would understand. Okay, so let's grab. Let's grab an adult of this, an adult of this, and a juvenile of this. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna throw these guys down. And we're gonna go over something. Okay. So adult, juvenile. Okay. So Iguanodon is in this game. So juvenile Tyrannosaurus Rex right here. When they hatch, much like some mammals today, they would likely not be able to regulate their own body temperature all that well. So they would have these feathers as much like, you know, modern birds and stuff like that. So they would have these downing feathers to help them insulate all their heat, so they don't like, you know, either get cooked or freeze. So these would just help with that. Now, when we get to the bigger boys, you run into a problem. For one, Tyrannosaurs have a lot of evidence pointing to the fact that themselves and other dinosaurs are likely warm-blooded. So, these guys produce their own internal body temperature. These guys also live in a very warm environment. They live in a hot and humid environment. Okay? So, if they are producing their own body heat and they're living in a place that is already very warm, it is more than likely that you would see sparse feather coverage or little to no feather coverage around here, so that they could like the hairs on elephants, right? Hairs on elephants are spaced so evenly because that's how they disperse heat, right? That is how they get rid of heat in their bodies. Now, if you end up with this, you're going to be trapping a lot of heat in the body. So this is just not going to be beneficial for them. So they would likely lose these little feathers. We're going to follow him, by the way. And oh my god. Thank you, Hama Kuval, for the 2 tiny 90s. And we got to our live goal for today. Thank you so much. And the dinosaur. Oh my god. Thank you so much. Any Dracorex facts? I don't think Dracorex is valid anymore, unfortunately. And thank you, Shentungosaurus, for the 3 roses. I appreciate it. Oh, well, he's going for a swim. If some did live closer to the polar regions, do you think some Tyrannosaurs kept their feathering? Yes! In fact, my favorite dinosaur of all time is Nanooksaurus hoglundi, a type of Tyrannosaur that lived in northern Alaska. It is largely speculated to have had full feathering. So yeah. Dracorex is really cool. Don't get me wrong. The skull of Dracorex is awesome, but I just don't think it's valid anymore. So yeah. Thoughts on Magnopolia being semi-aquatic in the same way as a moose? Give me 1 second to refresh my mind. Magnopolia. Oh! Oh, this is a huge hadrosaur. Is that like an active debate that's going on? Because if it is, I haven't heard too much about it. Unfortunately. Torosaurus still valid? Yes! Torosaurus is still valid. But yeah. Like how we lost Saurophaganax. Yeah, I mean, well, kind of. Saurophaganax was chimerized, meaning it was two animals that were mistaken as one, whereas Dracorex was a younger individual mistaken as its own unique genus. So sticky, yeah. The babies are absolutely adorable. He's enjoying his bath time. Look at that. Know of any dinosaurs discovered in Ohio? Unfortunately, I do not. I think every state has a state fossil, by the way. I'd 100% recommend, if you live in the United States, checking what your state fossil is. Because I think the one where I live is Basilosaurus. I'm moving him onto land, by the way. Basilosaurus is a type of prehistoric whale. Very cool, though. Very cool. But yeah. T-Rex's, or features at the top of its cranium are likely filled with dust. Yeah, I'm wondering how it swim just using 2 legs. You ever seen a goose? You ever seen most waterfowl? It's really, because like I've had this discussion before with other people. Geese and ducks, they only use their they only really use their legs. Like, yeah, they float, but yeah. I don't know. The Dilophosaurus have feathers? It's possible. It is possible. Also, I saw Rob Zombie asking about Gorgosaurus. I wish Gorgosaurus was in this game. Fun fact: my favorite dinosaur, Nanooksaurus hoglundi, was once thought to be a synonym of Gorgosaurus. I'm glad it's its own thing now. But yeah. Do you think the devs will add cannibalism to the game depending on how low dinosaur hunger gets? I think that would be a really neat feature to add. That would be really cool to see. But yeah. But yeah, Gorgosaurus is really neat. It's one of only 2 members of the Albertosaurinae. And yeah. I forget what its name is, but I know Albertosaurus has a super cool species name because it's Albertosaurus sarcophagus. I was like, Jesus! Who is naming these people? Who is naming these dinosaurs? Is Tyrannosaurus in the game? I wish. Tyrannosaurus is super cool. Ohio has the state fossil of Dunkleosteus? You're kidding me. Hold on. What? Ohio State fossil is... Oh, wait, that's a state invertebrate fossil. Wait, hold on. Where's this getting from? The Ohio State fossil fish is the Dunkleosteus. Why does Ohio get the dunk? Why do they get the cool one? So the baby Rex just quacked. They probably did, yeah. Yeah. Ohio had something to do with Dunkleo. Is Dinochirus in the game? Dinochirus is in the game, actually. We'll come back to the baby Rex. He's going back to the pool. He's going back for a swim. Are you guys ready to see the ugliest child you've ever seen? Because they based the Dinochirus juvenile on an ugly duckling. Are we ready? This is the baby Dinochirus. It is the ugly duckling. And it is quite something. It looks like a raw chicken. He is quite something. But yeah. How do those Bronto and Apato look? They look pretty good actually here. We're gonna throw out the Dinochirus. Actually, you know what? We're gonna throw out a baby Dinochirus too. You go have fun. We'll come back to you, little dude. I saw someone asking like why the Jurassic World or the Jurassic franchise dinosaurs are different from the real life counterparts. Simple answer is that we didn't understand nearly as much about dinosaurs when the Jurassic franchise was first being made. That's the simple answer. The secondary answer is that the DNA that they used was spliced from living animals instead of also other dinosaurs and stuff like that. Do you stream anywhere else or just on TikTok? Just on TikTok for now. I'm working on some other stuff for later, but yeah. The other state possible, or what's Isotellus, by the way? That's the other state fossil. Yeah, Isotellus seems to be a large trilobite. These guys are, yeah, trilobites are very, very common. So yeah. But yeah. Some modern birds. Do you think dinosaurs could have evolved earlobes or acoustic support? Maybe. It's hard to say, obviously, but it's definitely not impossible. But yeah. Finally got a Indom in the game. How'd you get an Indom in this game? That's not in this franchise. We're gonna go follow the ugly duckling now. Thanks on Basilosaurus. Basilosaurus was a very long marine whale. Marine mammal. That was named its it's such an alien looking baby, isn't it? It's so alien. Oh my god. But yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it walks so funny. Yeah. Does the game have any plans on console release? I think so in the future. But yeah. Let's look to my home state of Georgia. We got Megalodon. Nice. But yeah, anyway, Basilosaurus is a marine mammal, early whale, very, very long. The name actually means like king lizard or something like that. And it's it's really funny because it's not a lizard, not even a reptile. But yeah. Somewhere else here. Well, thank you, creature, for stopping by. I appreciate it. It was one of the safe fossils. I mean, yeah, Dunkleosteus is awesome. His mouth is just a perpetual frown. Yeah, he's gonna stay like that for a while, I feel like. But he's just a grumpy little baby. We're on a field trip today. Yes! Because it is miserably hot where I live right now. So putting on a VR chat headset is not in the picture right now. The two-headed Hyphilophosaurus fossil. I've seen that. It's very cool. Birth defects like that are very rare to fossilize, especially because the chances of a birth defect happening are slim. And the chances of a already slim thing preserving is astronomically uncommon. So it is just really cool that we get a look at it like that. Where are all the baby dinosaurs swimming? I don't know. They seem to really enjoy the water. Where's the baby T-Rex? Oh, here he is. Thoughts on the new dinosaur Prince of Mongolia? Ah, yes, Kogaloo, the Tyrannosauroid that was recently discovered. I think it's cool. It allows us this really neat image into the evolution of Tyrannosaurs, and I think that's really cool. Is this game on PS4? I wish it was on console, but no, it is PC only right now. Facts on Appalachiosaurus. Last I checked with Appalachiosaurus, we're a little unsure of what exactly it is. But Appalachiosaurus has kind of been thrown around into several different families. Yeah, late Cretaceous, 82, 77 million years ago. It's thought to be a Eutyrannosaurid, which is different from... Hold on. What do you mean its species name is Montgomeryensis? Like, that's cool. I like that, but it caught me off guard because I've been to Montgomery a few times. That caught me off guard a little bit. What is the largest real dinosaur? Up in the air right now. So it's probably Argentinosaurus, Dreadnought. Oh, and the baby T-Rex has found another pool of water. Cool. Argentinosaurus is one of the more popular front runners for it. But yeah. Would you try mammoth meatballs if scientists made them? I mean, very clearly, our ancestors found them to be very delicious. So, you know what? If given the opportunity, yeah, I'd eat a mammoth. I'd eat a mammoth. State fossil of New Jersey is Hadrosaurus Fuki. Hadrosaurus Fuki. Hold on, give me 1 second. I want to say it's the namesake of the Hadrosaurs. Yeah, Hadrosaurus Fuki. It was originally described in 1858. Yeah, it was a genus of hadrosaurid ornithopod dinosaurs lived in North America during the late Cretaceous period of what is now The Woodbury Formation in New Jersey. The holotype specimen was found in Fluvial main sedimentation, meaning that the corpse of the animal was transported by a river and washed out to sea. Some fossils are found in the Tar Heel and Coachman Formation. Interesting. It's Montgomery Gator. But yeah, that's pretty cool. His favorite dinosaur, it doesn't have to be the real one, by the way. It doesn't have to be real. My favorite dinosaur of all time is Nanoxaurus hoglundi, which is definitely real. They are a super cool tyrannosaur from the late Cretaceous. And I can throw in a Smilodon. We're gonna throw in Fatalis. I feel like it. There we go. Cool. Weird thing I think you might like is the Dolocaris engine from Dolocaris? Hold on. Dolocaris. Oh yeah, this weird looking alien. Oh man, no, these things are strange. See, there are parts in Earth's early life, like when life was first evolving here on Earth, there was nothing that really looked like anything alive today. And that Dolocaris is a great example of that. Like there was one time period in Earth where there were literally just living carpets. There were just these flat animals that were basically just carpets. What does Spinosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus look like next to each other? Well, let's give it a look. Pretty sure I have a Spino out here already. Yeah, I do. Where is our Spinosaurus? Here it is. Here he is. There you go. The kings of North Africa. But yeah, these guys are crazy. All we need is a sloth, and we have the Ice Age trio. Oh yeah, don't forget the Paraceratheriums. We have Paraceratherium in this game, man. What's your favorite Hadrosaur in this game? Probably Edmontosaurus annectens. Edmontosaurus was another animal that I have helped in the excavation of, and these guys are just huge, absolutely insane animals. I mean, just like. Look at it. It's so cool. But yeah, they're awesome. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah. Was that a saber-toothed tiger? It was a saber-toothed cat. Saber-toothed tigers is not the proper word, as they are not tigers. Thoughts on the Indoraptor and Irex from Jurassic World movies? Indominus Rex anatomy makes no sense to me, and Indoraptor, that's not me saying it's bad, I'm just saying, like, that's the main takeaway that I had from that. Indoraptor felt pointless, as you could have replaced it with a Megaraptor, and it would have changed to nothing. But yeah, ducks with long legs and tails. Yeah, I guess in a way, yeah. Yeah, these guys are really cool. I think because this is T-Rex's favorite snack. So yeah. We should have more stuff about thylacines. I agree. Thylacines were cool. I hope we can bring them back. That's one animal that I think would have a very beneficial impact upon its modern ecosystem if it was reintroduced. So yeah. You could add any dinosaur as a pet, already trained and stuff. What would it be? If I didn't have to worry about paying for its food, or it trying to eat me or my friends, I would go with Nanoxaurus because it's my favorite dinosaur ever. But yeah. But yeah. I don't know. Okay, so we're probably hunting animation, or are those not out yet? There is no hunting animation for any of the animals just yet, unfortunately. Dinosaurs exist in the Cars universe, and I think they make a JP3 joke. Yeah, I know the scene you're talking about, where Lightning McQueen's like watching a dinosaur documentary, and they're at a dinosaur park. I think it's pretty cool. I want copies of Microraptors. Yeah, it'd be cool. Is Minmi pet material? I'd say so. Minmi's pretty small for an ankylosaurid, so. Look how cinematic this is. I love this. I love this. Like, dude, it's just so cool. I think, by the way, so they're coming out with a paleofauna update, meaning they're adding, the actual plants that were around with these dinosaurs when they were around. So when they do that, I think I'm going to try and make a dinosaur documentary series with this. But yeah. I think they're awesome. And my dogs are losing their mind downstairs. That's great. There we go. Speaking of Leanosaura. Carcharodontosaurids evolved directly from allosaurs, or do they share the same ancestor? They branch off from a more basal allosaurid. Or, well, no, I take that back. So, Carcharodontosaurids probably just... Actually, no. Yeah, I'd say they branched off from a basal allosaurid. Because they're not true allosaurs. They are allosauroids. So they're part of the superfamily, but not the direct family. So yeah. Yeah. Did Megalania also live at Indonesia like the lizards now? I don't know. I don't know if we've ever found fossil evidence of them living in Indonesia. So, I don't know. Why is Brachiosaurus so big? That's a great question that I wish I could answer, but unfortunately I don't believe it has any fossil material left. So that is, unfortunate. So, non-avian dinosaurs still exist today. What dinosaurs do you think could be domesticated? Tyrannosaurs, Hadrosaurs, Ceratopsians, maybe Dromaeosaurids as well. Other than that, I think sauropods would just remain wild, with some exceptions. But I think there's a huge disparity when it comes to people understanding domestication. Domestication, it means that you have changed the animal. It doesn't mean you have tamed them. It means that you have changed them and have selectively bred them in a way that would benefit you. So, like dogs are domesticated. Cows are domesticated. Cats are domesticated. You can keep animals like foxes as pets and raccoons, but they are not domesticated. They are tamed. It's cool. We should also look for animals now. The northern white rhino going extinct. I agree. I think the idea of bringing back dinosaurs is irresponsible if there are animals today that are going extinct. But yeah. But yeah, made a video about domestic dinosaurs. I remember. I've seen that. Not a bad video. Fun fact, I ran into Madly Mesozoic on a Path of Titans server the other day. He was chilling on Path of Titans the other day, and I ran into him. It was pretty neat. I didn't really talk to him. I just kind of saw him, and I was like, oh, shit, it's Madly Mesozoic. Hey, look at him. That's awesome. But yeah, I think would have had QOL. Quality of life. Okay, sorry. Because their DNA were oh yeah, definitely. Both of them have horrible teeth. Do you have a favorite bird? Yes, I like the bearded vulture and the red-tailed hawk. Both of them had teeth that were not fit for their type of body style. So they would undeniably just, their teeth would fall out really fast. Yeah, so I definitely say so. Where do you learn all of this about dinosaurs? I've been keeping in touch with dinosaur discoveries ever since I was a child in elementary school. I had a pretty early start with it too because my mom's a science teacher, my dad was a historian. So I got the best of both worlds, ended up with dead reptiles. But I've been keeping up with this stuff since like 2009. So it has been coming in on 2 decades. So touched by tism? Yes, absolutely. Undeniably. I am medicated too, so legally, yeah, it do be the tism. But yeah. Okay, with all that said and done, I think we have reached the point of our class here today where we are about to dismiss. With everything said and done, I really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me today. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you everyone who stayed with us for the entire stream. Everyone who liked, commented, shared, and followed. You guys are awesome. And I really do appreciate you guys. These streams are nothing without y'all. And this was a smaller stream today because, you know, it's obviously not dinosaur class. Exactly. But I appreciate everyone who did show up. Very big special thank you to everyone who gifted. You guys are awesome. I love y'all. You blow my mind every single day. If I missed your question, I do apologize. I am only human. You're more than welcome to join the community Discord. Ask me a question in there. We have a whole channel dedicated to to asking me questions, and or you can go to my most recent video and ask me the question. With all that being said and done, you guys have a great rest of y'all's day. If you missed the stream, the VOD will be up on YouTube directly after stream, so check it out there. All that being said and done, you guys have a great rest of y'all's day. I'll see you tomorrow for another dinosaur class field trip, and I'll catch you all later. Bye-bye!